Hello and good morning. Thank you again for watching this and listening to it. I just want to be in appreciation of the wonderful and amazing, beautiful day it is. It's going to be a nice hot day without the humidity. So, and the nights have gotten cooler, which is awesome. So it helps a lot of people sleep better. The air doesn't have that sense of stagnant that humidity brings. And also want to today I wanted to look around and hello Rose, good morning. Wanted to look around and there's so much programming that's out there right now. There's so much information that's trying to spark the fear in us. And so this week I have set a challenge to I would like, and I'm going to do this myself, is to activate, like to focus on you instead of everything around you. We all have responsibilities and we all have things that we need to do, but that doesn't mean that we can't focus on ourselves. And it's like to remember all the joyful, wonderful, amazing things that we have, that we can offer, that we can offer ourselves, and that there's a lot of things about allowance and receiving. I'm still working on that myself, but it's the fact that you can allow yourself to receive the most beautiful aspects of the world instead of like there's like events and relationships that I witness, and something was said to me yesterday, and I thought, you know what, they're right. So I always believe that things can change, right? That if you change your thoughts or your patterns, you change your life. And it's like that's right, because I choose to believe that. There's a lot of people out there that don't. Like I've witnessed relationships that are ongoing, of where one person has no choice or has given up all their rights and all their choices to the other person. And it's like, what a horrible way to live, right? But they might not know that this is like they have been doing it for so long that this is all that they know, right? And it's like, so they chose that for themselves in one sense. But I think more it's like a lot of us get and convinced and pressured, like back then when this relation would have started, like, well, with a lot of us, like you went to school, you got a career of some sort, you got married, and you must have children. And it's like, so in, and if you weren't married by a certain age, you were looked and frowned upon. And I can contest all that. And they thought there was something wrong with you. I had a friend whose mother thought I was gay because I had, like, the only time she'd ever see me out in public would be with my girlfriends. Well, I worked a lot, and that was like we would do excursions and stuff. Anyways, and oh my God, like the judgments and opinions of others, it's just wild what people have done. And it's like, so let's remove and release all the aspects of ourselves that are affected by these judgments. And it's like, and really, it's just like, why does it matter so much what someone else does if they don't, like, it doesn't affect you, it doesn't harm you, and it might bring them joy? Why does it matter, right? So remove and release. It's like, so for a long time I had this opinion that, like, people are very judgmental, very narrow-minded, very like there's only a few of us out there that are open to the possibility of change and choice. And it's like they're very narrow-minded, they're not willing to change. Like I had a list of stuff that I had to work through. So remove and release any of that list that you still may be carrying within you. Yes, because it's a choice. People, and it's like, they and then someone said, well, they don't have the exposure and the education, but they're exposed and educated by fear. And it's like, okay, so they don't know, maybe they don't know how to choose themselves, right? And it's like, they don't know how to choose happiness. They don't know how to choose something that's beneficial to them, because what they've witnessed and what they've been told and what they've been taught is that there's always one of you that sacrifices in the relationship to make it work. And it's like, I thought it should be like you grow together, but sometimes that doesn't happen. It's like you vary off into different sections. And so remove and release. And when you vary that much, or you're not in a safe place in your relationship, all the power to all the women who have left those relationships. That's a major leap of faith. So all the power to you. I send you much love and light. But it's like, and men too as well, who've left relationships that were not good for them as well. So remove and release all the precursor judgments. It's almost like patterns of choices that are not in your highest best good. Yes. And it's like, as I meet more and more people, there's quite a few of us out there that choose us, choose a different choice. It's just that the exposure is like, and it's like, you know what? Like, there was a lady that lived outside of where I live, and it's like something amazing, wonderful happened to her, and it's just that she believed in herself and believed in her goal and believed in her choice. So all the places that we have hidden projections or hidden patterns and hidden patterns and beliefs that still limit us, that we're not even aware that we carry. And it's like, so remove and release that. Yes. So the response to what I had witnessed was, well, it's always been like that. You're never going to change it. So don't let it bother you. And it's like, yeah, that's right. Don't let it bother you, because they don't want to choose something else. And it's got to do with respect, but it's also got to do with the fact that that I witnessed it, right? And it's like, when you choose it, it's sometimes, I want to remove and release this, because it's a belief pattern of, when you choose a different path from everyone else, life gets extremely hard. Life gets limiting. There's only a few of you out there. Nobody seems to want to understand you. So therefore you end up isolating yourself or ghosting having ghosting relationships with people. And it's like I've witnessed some of the really amazing people, but they have so many programs of dismantling and destructing, not intentionally of themselves, but they attract people into their lives that dismantle and destroy them. And it's like, oh my God, remove and release that. Yes. I was making choices that were dismantling and destructing me, and I'm changing that. It's a process. Everything's a process, but it's like, during the darkest, like during the fear mongering of what we just went through, someone had posted a picture of like 100 million people going one way, and there was just a few of them going the other way. And it's like, that's really sad that we are so controlled and manipulated that that's what they choose. So remove and release any aspect of their fear, their limited choices, or their their points of view that are affecting you, that are they're part of your friends and familiar and family, that have also done it, like it is because you become empathetic to them and you feel for them. Sometimes that's how they absorb your energy. So remove and release all the places that you may have unintentionally given your energy away because you've witnessed, like, you know the secret, you know that choosing yourself, choosing your body, choosing your the joy in your life is a secret. It's like the best, absolute, amazing aspect of yourself. And it's like there's still some places like that I have a little bit of imbalance in. I have imbalance in. I'm working on it, and it's like, so remove and release all the places that weigh you down, that hold you in place, and that anchor you because of the any contracts, bonds, oaths, and promises that you have with other people, that their fear, their limitations, and their choices will affect you, and also that in throughout all lifetimes and all existence. Yes. Because it used to be like I had listened to the podcast and it talks about, when you're so in a sense that they call it, some people call it awake. I like to call it like you choose you. You've chosen you. And when you choose yourself and you work on yourself and you're trying to release and let go of stuff, it used to be that you used to go into these, when you would go out into large groups of people, it would be draining and exhausting because of the choices and agreements they make. So, and I kept thinking, what if you could walk amongst many and not be affected by their choices? I think that's a really good goal to get to. And so remove and release how all aspects of herself that have hooks, cords, or chains that are untethered, that allow other people's limitations, fear, and choices to absorb our energy. Like they can attach to us. They can be part of our field of energy. And also, that could also be some kind of programming that we have that we think we should take that all on. But no. Because we're not being, how they say, respect other people, but that's not being respectful to us, right? And our bodies. So remove and release that all. Yes. And remove and release any judgments or any methods of it's almost like you're ruling yourself on, or you're judging yourself, or like I realize that we all get to our where we want to go in a different way. Some of us, like, I firmly believe in the human design charts, and it's like some of us will plow through it, get there, but it's that judgment that they come with, saying, oh well, you're not doing anything, you're not even trying. And it's like, how do you know I'm not trying? You don't live in my body, you don't witness what I do. And it's like, so but that becomes a gauge and somehow, and it's like, oh my god, like I have a tendency that if I pick up stuff like that, I try to try and look from a different aspect. But it takes me a bit to realize that I've sort of said, okay, well, I'm not doing this, that's why this is not working, and it's like, then I met the wonderful Alisa May and Rose and Linda. There's a lot of them amongst that group of people, and it's like, it's like she said, you're a manifester. And I'm like, so what the hell was I doing? Like, judging myself or gauging myself on other people's expectations, other people's views of themselves and how they accomplish something. And it's like, do you have a manifestor school? I really would like to go to. Anyways, remove and release all the places that you unintentionally have set standards for yourself, set guidelines and timelines that are someone else's choices, and instead of honoring and walking in your own path. Yes. And sometimes too, what happens in the community of choosing you, we are attracted to people that have similar views. Oh, thank you, Rose. Thanks. Attracted to people who have similar views, but they're not always in our highest and best good. So, and it's like you can challenge us. That's like you can make someone think in a different way. But let's just ask that whoever comes into our lives to help us and to guide us, it's chosen with kindness. And it's like remove, because I used to walk around that with the belief that I was always wrong. Like I was always wrong because back then, there was I only knew of a few people, and everything was a battle to succeed. It was hard to get to this point. And it's like, it was so much work. And it was like I was hiding in some damn closet, even though I still took the courses and did this and did that. I was hiding in the closet because I was taught that, it's just very difficult to be who you are, and especially when you're different from everyone else. And it's like, I don't want to drink beer till I'm oblivious. I don't want to do things like that. Like I don't want to numb myself out so badly that, but it's like, I do it in different ways. Like I love coffee, right? But I just don't want to be so unconscious that I don't, I can't deal with myself. And sometimes I couldn't deal with it because I didn't know how, because how they say you're always immersed in your own stuff. And it's like, but I didn't need all these other opinions and projections and limitations and judgments coming from everybody. That it was almost like it was just keeping me down, squishing me, like trying to squish me in the ground. And there's parts of me that are like, hell no, that ain't happening. So remove and release all the trigger points that we have that allows people to activate us, but also anything that we've taken on from other people that doesn't feel right, and it's not our choice, it's their choice. That in this also can dim your light, not just what's going on in the world, but the communities around you that can dim your light, because maybe you've chosen something different and to do it in a different way. But that doesn't mean that they're right and you're wrong, or vice versa. It's just the way they choose to follow their path. And if you decide to, like, for example, if I decide to follow a completely different path, I'm not willing to. Sometimes I'll veer off and let those people go for a while, and if they're meant to come back, they'll come back. But I'm not going to continue to accept their judgments, their limitations, and then essentially their aspects of them, whatever selves that they're projecting and judging me by. Like, nobody has a right to judge you. And let's remove and release that, and also remove and release the trigger points that allows their judgments to affect us. Because being so sensitive, which in a lot of ways is very positive, but there's also this aspect of, it's like, I can't believe sometimes the words that come out of people's mouths. And it's like, and sometimes I might say something the wrong way. And it's like, yeah, but when it comes from someone that that is not intentionally trying to cause you problems, it's like it's helpful to make you realize what's going on. And you need friends like that challenge you in a positive way, and it comes from the heart, right? but remove and release all the rest. Yes. I believe that as long as you're happy in your life, you've made the choices to make you happy. But when you feel weighed down and bargained in the mud, and like you feel like you have no place, it's just you're just trudging along in life. That's not a good choice for us. That's not who we are. We're this bright, brilliant, amazing being, and it's like sometimes I feel like the way society is and everyone around us is like it's all geared to destroying who you are. It's geared towards that. That's how I feel, because it's like this stuff that comes out of like what some of the stuff that like we're manipulating, controlled. I didn't get political, but we're manipulated and controlled by what's on the TV for news and stuff like that. And it's like I sometimes really feel like that's what they're trying to do is destroy us, like the brilliance of us. They don't want us to live for very long. They don't, they don't want you to make a choice that could be different. And it's like, how many people do you know? Like in movie Heal, she talks about you may not believe in natural healing and all these alternative choices, but it's not normal. The amount of cancer, heart attack, and all other diseases that are going on, and the depression, and it's like, so it's like it's almost like, and if I mention any of this to certain people in my life, it's like it's a freak out zone. But anyways, it's just that if you look around it, you can see it, and it's like sometimes it does affect me, and I try and clear it as much as possible. And it's like, how about looking at your life and seeing where maybe that you unconsciously have been dimming your light because of the choices or projections or limitations or judgments of others. Remove and release that. Yes. And remove and release, like there was you know, this talk from Access Bar about marriages and relationships. And it's like, if you really look at in a perspective, and I'm by no means an expert, but sometimes in a relationship, getting to do what you want to do and allowing them to do what you want to do makes a relationship. That might be the priority. It might not be that they're this, incredibly romantic. Like everybody's choice of what they look for in a relationship is different. But as long as as long as you are happy, and it's like you have to look at, and this could go for a marriage, could go for a friendship, could go for any kind of relation, business, any kind of relationship, and you have, as long as you it's leading you towards a path that you want to go, then it's in your highest and best good. And also remove and release all the obstacles, obstructions, and forms of entrapment. And the other word is in any other forms that extinguish your light, that do not allow you to thrive and to be part of the greatness of you, that may keep you in, it's like you're half in the world of you, and or maybe you're 3/4 in the world of you, and there's another part of you that's not in the world of you. And it's like it's almost like you can get pulled back into the old version of yourself as opposed to the new version of yourself. So remove and release that. Yes. Remove and release the miscommunication that occurs between your body and mind and soul that puts you out of sync. So that because you're not residing within yourself and you're not conscious of the choice of some of the choices that you make, remove and release the aspects of you that have, it's not, you know how some people say, oh, what was the old saying that there's some of them that's like, wow, it used to be, the old belief was if something stirred someone up in you, then it's the reflection of something that is, that you need to correct in yourself. But what if it was a reflection of get them the hell out of your life because they're not good for you? Like, it's like someone who says things to you that are not nice and are distinguish your light or make or trying to, well, by saying things, and this has happened to me too, is it gets to judge me. It's like, what's wrong with me? Why am I not moving in this way at this accelerated rate? And it's like, but that's not who I am. So it takes me out of being who I am. So remove and release that. And it's like, remove and release all imprints that have existed in your body, mind, and soul from not only from your judgment of yourself, but judgments of other people that have existed through time and space, past, present, and future. Yes. And it's like had um, I had started out. Oh, it's been almost 10 years. Actually, I think, yeah, it's been 10 years. And I started out at first an angel card reader and a psychic medium. I had all these gifts, and that's how I started out. And then I moved. That I also had Reiki. I also did Access Bar. In 2018, I had done my first course at Access Bar, and then I started creating by some lovely people that had come into my life. I had decided to create my own curated energy sessions, and it's a combination of many aspects of me that you receive. And so there's always an aspect of, sometimes what happens is that a lot of people just want to go to psychic medium to know about the people that have passed. But the aspect that I witness is that the people on the other side, yeah, they show up, they're in your field. They're the ones that want you to clear so you can have the most amazing life going. But some people are just don't want that. They don't want to deal with that stuff, right? And it's like, that really used to floor me. Like, it's like they're saying to you from the other side that they like you to clear, they like you to be happy. They want you to know what joy is. But you don't want to know that. You don't want to know that. You wanted, like, there was some people that just wanted to just know about who had passed and if they were okay on the other side. Believe me, when one of the wonderful, amazing miracles that I've witnessed in my lifetime is that a lot of people, when they pass, they go to this wonderful place and they get healed and they work on themselves, and but they'll come right back to your field if you need them. They will show up. They'll move around, especially if it's a parent and there's like a big family. They'll move around and stay in the field of their children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren that need them. And they're always around. They move in and out, they float around, but they still have the same personality. So if somebody was a smoker, this is the best way I can describe it. in this lifetime. They definitely, you can smell smoke when they come into the room. And another thing is, someone was heavy into the weed. That's what you smell. You just get this light scent of it, and they'll show up. It's like, it's very, but it's like they want you to move forward. But sometimes the way people leave, it's really heart wrenching that you get stuck in the tragedy of how they left, and you don't move forward. You get stuck. And it's like, whether you carry, like, it's really hard. It's whether you carry guilt, shame, or you just, they were such a big part of your life that um, you can't imagine your life being anything more than what it was with them. And, but it's like, they want you to move forward. They still love you. They want you to move forward. They want you to experience the absolute best life possible. And it's like, it's sometimes a choice. And oh yeah, so they had what happened, and then I moved on to something. My husband's like, oh well, you stay in one thing, and then and then all of a sudden you change it, you do something else, and it's like, yeah, that's who I am. I move around. You get, when you come for appointments, you get whatever you need. And if someone wants to be identified from the other side, they will show up and say who they are. But a lot of times they just want you clear, and they don't want you to focus on them. They want you to focus on yourself. So if you have in your lifetime, you've had a lot of tragedy and lost a lot of people, my heart goes out to you. But think about this. You have this cheerleader squad that is there for you, and they want the best, absolute best. Whether it was an uncle, an aunt, or a friend, they are always around. On the other side, there's no limited. People can divide into, if you need be, 100,000 versions of themselves, and be there throughout time and space. Like, they can be there for you. And it's like, they just want you to have the best, absolute best life. Because at the moment of passing, they become aware, and they look at what has, like, they look back at their lives, and they become aware of the truth of who they really are. And when they go into I remember one gentleman, he really enjoyed, like, his wife wouldn't let him drink in the house. There was no way, it wasn't happening. They were an older couple, and so he used to sit out in the garage in a certain chair and drink he had his rum. His rum was hidden somewhere. And anyway, so whenever this person, like, when it came across this person that this was part of, you could hear clinking in her field of the glass to say, that they're there. And it's like, everybody dealt with their stuff when they were alive in a different way. And it's like, I really want, my challenge to myself is that I really want to heal all my past traumas and all aspects of myself that have been influenced by other people, and enjoy the best life possible. And sometimes you can get down on stuff, but it's like, you know what? There's people that are in my field that are there to offer me the absolute best. So why don't you ask them? Ask them. Sometimes they'll show up. Sometimes, like, I've come across people who are in fear that they think that, that these people will contact you in some way. And it's like, sometimes in your life, like, especially if you've lost somebody significant, your version of love changes. Sometimes they were your anchor, and you can't get beyond it and think that nobody else, like, there's nobody else to fulfill their space, but there's you to fulfill that space. And that anchor is still with you, but it's just not physically with you. They are in your field. Ask them for help, ask them for guidance. They will bring wonderful, amazing things to you. And it's like, it's such an honor to have. I mean, it's heart-wrenching. It's like your heart's been ripped out of you when you lose people. And it's like, but just think about that. They're on the other side. they some of the things that they couldn't do for you in this lifetime because of their own limitation, fears, and judgments, and being dictated to. They don't they couldn't do it, but they can do it on the other side, and they're more than willing to help. And it's like, just ask. Just ask. And I know I'm one to say that. I took me a while to do that too. And it's like a friend of mine did a chart on me, and she said, "You don't ask enough." And it's like, I never even thought of that at that time. And it's like, okay, I'm asking now. And it's like, just think about that. They never leave you. They never leave your heart. They never leave your memories. They never leave you. They are always with you. It's just that their bodies in this lifetime maybe couldn't handle it. They may have had their life contract could have been over. There's just different aspects. And yes, it would be awful nice to be physically hugged by them, but it's like you can still be hugged by them just with the presence, just to feel their love in the room. And all of us are gifted. We all have the ability to see. We all have the ability to hear. And we all have the ability to feel and to channel all the gifts. And you just have to remember that there's so many beautiful, wonderful memories of the experiences of them, and try and focus on, the aspects of that. And it is really hard. I've dealt with my own, I deal with my own losses too as well. And it's like, but they're on the other side. It's like they're trying to help. And yes, you can, if that's your choice and you want to channel them and you want to hear them, you can hear them. You just have to choose. Just have to choose you. You just have to choose. So this week, just look at the aspects of yourself, the aspects of your life where there may be limitations, because it's like, it's always, how do I put it? It's always a learning curve, man. There's always something that comes up, and it's like, it's really challenging. I love to learn new things, but it's as long on the basis that it's something like, I don't go, a lot of the stuff that I took is because I felt safe, because I didn't feel safe anywhere else. So I took a lot of courses to help. So it felt like I was being called home, right? And then as everything starts changing, more and more people are opening up. More and more people are choosing themselves, choosing joy, choosing happiness. It's like, you can feel safe now. It's like, it's okay. And the world's not going to end. They're not going to come at you. You're not going to be put on a stake. You're not going to be burned alive. That you're okay. It's okay now. So it's like, I had to work on that I feel safe no matter where I go. And, large groups of people used to freak me right out. But you know what? I went to a concert this week, and I went to play, and it's like, it was awesome. And, and it's like, I don't feel that way anymore, because I know in there's glimmers of hope. There's glimmers of them choosing themselves. They have decided that they're worth more than just being a number in a line. And it's like, just think about that. There's more and more of them coming into themselves and choosing themselves. Isn't that going to be, this is going to be wonderful. It's just in alignment with the age of Aquarius. And it's like, there's so much joy out there. Let's take a deep breath. Hold. And then release. Another one. And then release. Another deep breath. Hold. And then release. Thank you so much. And next week is a long weekend here, so I might not be on. I might choose to stay out at the cottage, or depending on the weather, I will let you know. And thank you very much, and have a wonderful week, and enjoy. Much love, much happiness, and choose you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.